Boom. Welcome.
Boom.
It's Thursday. I'm Charlie, Geeky Got Comics. This man, he's not bench pressing fire engines this week. This is Tom. And then this man, he's taking time out of his busy, hectic schedule doing Comic-Con tours and live unboxings and toy extravaganza videos. And he's joining us again. It's Pete. How you doing?
Very well, mate. Looking forward to this. Excited. I missed you last week.
You became a bit of a regular, mate.
I know. I was out on the pop last week, but I was kind of pining. Do you know what I mean? I was nursing my pint, thinking I could be with the Killer Boys. You know?
Did you have a good week off, though? Did you have a good time?
I did. I had a cracking time. Went down to Liverpool Comic-Con. Had a good laugh down there, so that was fun.
Good. And Tom, how have you been? What have you been up to, mate?
Oh, not much, mate. Working, doing a bit, doing this, doing that. You know me, mate. Wheeling and dealing.
I see you've gone a bit trigger happy for Sharpie.
I have, mate. Yeah, this is 3 weeks.
It suits you very much.
Yeah, it looks good. Yeah, it looks good.
Thanks, boys. I'll take that.
Yeah,
I'm going for the I mean, I don't know if you guys know that back in a couple of years ago, I did a funeral for my 30s, and I got all kitted up like a Viking, and I grew my beard. So I'm kind of aiming for the same thing. So I'm going to try and get it as far as I can. I think I've shown you guys the stuff that I made for it. So
yes,
got a boy tits up for it again.
Look at that, boy tits. But I'm glad you two are well. Good. We got the chat is buzzing. We've got Mr. Fuzzy Dunlop. Look, this guy changes his logo more times than I don't know, but he changes it quite a lot. Good evening, Fuzzy. How you doing? So we've got Yuko Demon's Treats. Good evening. We've got Mr. Batdan. Hey up, Fuzzy. A merry hack and slash to you. Indeed. We've got Ding Dong, Mr. Chris Bell. Good evening, one and all. Mr. Bat Daniel San. Wax on, wax off. There we go. Chiefly plug for Digital Chapter 5. Closing the art. TBP option. Yes, sir. All the good stuff. We did do that last week. Looking forward to seeing the guys at Thought Bubble. Yeah. Going to be interesting. Bellington, there we go. YouTube's Heisenberg. Happy Halloween all. I see the monsters have arrived early. Yes, we have. Now then. We've got what's a fuzzleberry? I want one of fuzzleberry. What's a fuzzleberry? I'll have to try one of them. Good evening, Vic. Ed Vic. Looking forward to sharing a coach journey for 6 hours with him in a couple of weeks on the way up to Thought Bubble.
Are you going on the coach?
Yeah, we're going on a coach. 5.5 hours.
Nice.
Because it was like £24 return, so
that's not bad.
Oh, fair enough.
Yeah, exactly that. So we'll have some comics, a little bit of touchy feely, and then we'll have some beers as well.
I looked at a coach. It was an overnight job.
Jesus, where do you actually live?
So if you look at England, you look right down the south. I'm literally at the
Asgard.
Asgard. Yeah, basically.
It's Narnia.
There we go.
Basically, I might as well be in a different country.
Sorry, let me just take a sip there. We've got ABC Comics. Let's go, and we have Ed Vic again saying going to spend the savings on the booze for the ride.
Good stuff.
Nice.
And what about the coach? Boom. So anyway, last week the bots were out in force. I had the pleasure of spending Thursday night with James, aka Comic Deal. I was pretty impressed that he actually read a Batman comic.
Yeah.
Nice.
And that he quite enjoyed it as well. Good evening, Captain Comics. Long time no see, sir. Hope you're okay. He actually enjoyed it. Did you manage to read any of your comics last week? I know you was off the show and stuff like that. Did you manage to?
I didn't. No, I'm right behind trying to catch up, to be honest. I'm about 4 weeks behind me comics. So yeah, I need to get some read.
Tom, what about you?
I'm the same. I didn't get a chance to read it. No, unfortunately not. I did. It is on the pile because I really fancied reading that Batman comic, but apparently it's pretty good.
Yeah.
I read a shitload of comics last week, and I've read a shitload of comics this week. So I'm really getting into my comic reading again, which is nice. It comes in like waves and troughs and stuff. But I've enjoyed it this week. It's keeping my mind occupied. So, with that said, business end of the show. You know the deal by now, guys. You know the drill in the chat. Let's do it. So, just before we jump into this, Leon Russell has just said £24 seems like a good deal until you see the National Express coach toilets. I'm just saying, 5.5 hours, dude. Shit in a bucket. That's all I've said. I've done it once before, and I'm not ashamed to do it again.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
Yeah, classy. Yeah.
That's the benefits of being a dad with 3 kids, because when they're growing up, you've got baby wipes everywhere. So now, if I go out without baby wipes, I'm like, Need them. So Ed, if I don't bring him, you bring him, mate. There we go. So
before you go, I've got a bones pick with you two.
Yes.
I watched the show back when I was on holiday, and you two weren't very nice about my.
Tom, we
my
can't hear you,
trade
mate.
paperback.
We can't hear.
You can hear me.
What's that?
You weren't very, very nice about my trade paperback. I'm pretty sure the rules say it's killer covers, not killer comics.
I'm just looking at the rules now, and it definitely doesn't say you can use a trade paperback.
Tom, I'm
It
still
says I
new
can't.
on.
It doesn't say I can.
I'm still new on the
can't.
show, Tom. So I felt peer pressured into just going along with whatever Charlie said, mate.
Yeah.
So you know.
Also, you've done me out of 2 covers.
Well, I apologise about that. I do apologise about that. You won fair and square. So let's just kick it off now with this week's Killer Covers for October 25th, which was New Comic Book Day yesterday. Up first, I've gone for this amazing
it's cool.
Action Comics 1058 or 1058, the Carla Cohen variant cover. We mentioned this a few weeks ago on FOC. I snapped it up straight away. Looked at Slab Crusade, he's been talking to James and stuff, and he's had another fucking argument with Diamond Comics. They've totally messed up. They've sent him boxes and boxes of comics that are all corners up the edges, all damaged and stuff.
God.
These ones have been damaged as well. So obviously I paid for the guaranteed 9.8. Hopefully some of the ones that he's picked through have already been pre-ordered and sent through. But it's the luck of the draw if it doesn't. I think even if it comes back and it's a 9.6, I'm still going to pick it up because it's a sensational comic. Sensational comic cover. So
How can that still happen in this day and age that they keep screwing it up? I mean,
Tom
it
can
seems
answer
a
that.
regular thing, doesn't it? That the comic come damaged.
So basically, they're the worst in the world for this kind of thing. So they just take. Imagine, your whole collection of comics, say 150 odd comics in a box.
Yeah.
They literally put them in, no bags, no boards, no protection, just goes in the box and gets shipped out. They're the worst. And then if you ring up and complain, they're like, oh, okay, I'll put you a back order in for some more. And then a week later, they're like, oh, we can't get any more. You just got to use the ones you've been given. And at that point, people want their money back or people don't want to buy them. And you're like, well, what do I do now? I'm down. I mean, what they cost, I think the cost value of a comic, I think James is only literally making pence. I think there's like 5-10 pence in it. And that's after bags and boards. But I'm pretty sure you buy a comic, it's about £2.10, I think, per book, if I remember rightly. So James is selling them for what, £2.50, £2.60. So he's not making a lot. You add the bag and board and then all the post and packaging and all the arsake of putting it on the internet and stuff. Which is what you guys, well, not say you guys, but that's what the customer seems to forget. Is at the end of the day, there's a lot more that goes into it than just a comic book that goes in a bag of board and shipped out. But yeah, they come and they're absolutely knackered most of the time. I mean, I had so many rejects; it was so annoying.
But it's the same Forbidden Planet do it as well. The way they throw their comics on the shelf, they're damaged and everything, and obviously they're bulk buying, so they don't really care. But as Fuzzy's just said. What did he say? What did Fuzzy say? He said, I was all for this 3 weeks ago, came on Monday and I didn't bother ordering it. I'm sick of seeing it now.
Whoops, that's no vote for you.
That's no vote for me. Yeah, piss yourself. Nobody cares after 5 hours. There we go. And Chris Bell said, it's excellently done, just superb work, yet somehow dull as dishwater. That was my cover. Moving on. Tom.
So I'm pretty sure I'm going to get the same kind of reaction, but I've gone for the John Tyler Christopher negative space variant of the same thing. So Captain Marvel issue 1. This one caught our eye a few weeks back. I think it might have been one of Charlie's FOCs, and I think it's absolutely stunning. I just really like these negative space and how well they utilize it. But yeah, I thought I had to pick this one.
Very clever, really, isn't it? I like this one. I think this is nice.
It is very, very good. Like, I do like this one. And the only thing is that she don't look like Captain Marvel. That's the only thing. The face for me, she doesn't look like Captain Marvel. She looks like another character.
A bit more Emma Frost, I would say.
Yeah. Especially with the hair coming down. But it is great, and this is probably going to go for a fair few bucks as well, isn't it? Yeah. Cool. Nice one there, Tom.
Very nice.
And Andy.
Andy.
The chief. Andy's the good-looking one, man.
No,
I'm the fat ginger one. Oh, yeah.
I lost myself for a second there. It must be this one beard I've had.
He's not quite that northern.
Yeah. I'm a big fan of the Flash anyway, and this is the Wally West version, obviously.
Flashing?
I flash all the time, mate, all the time.
I know, I've seen it.
Gabrielle Deodato, again, just stunning. And I just love that image of the Flash. I love the fact the lightning's coming out of his eyes. I just think it looks mint. It looks amazing. So yeah, nice one.
We had Gabriel Dell'Otto as a creative spotlight, and some of his work is fantastic. Like, and I'm not a massive fan of the Flash, but this for me would kind of tip me towards wanting to read it, because it's just. Do you know who's done the interior artwork for this?
Oh, I'm not sure, mate. I don't know.
I'd love to read it.
Oh, I thought you were going to tell us. Sorry.
No. I'm not that.
I thought it was like, did you know? I thought you did your research.
It was me. I did the interior art.
Nice.
Nice.
But yeah, it was all good. So these are the 3 covers. Tom, the lovely guy that he is, has already got the vote up on YouTube. So you've got Carla Cohen variant for Action Comics 1058. You've got Captain Marvel, John Tyler Christopher Negative Space variant of Captain Marvel, and you have the Flash number 2, cover D, Gabriel Dell'Otto variant cover. So that's the killer covers out of the way. The vote will go up, and I'll come last. Pete will come, and Tom will come first or second or anything. And it should be a good week again, and we can all sit back, laugh, and think, how the fuck didn't we win that? But hey ho. Yeah. So
that Flash cover is really nice, actually. To be fair,
it went so quick.
Nice. I walked into that one.
So we've kind of gone back to putting up. We've kind of gone back to putting up 4 covers, 4 comics for people to vote in, and then we was doing one, but then good comics started coming out. So we thought, well, why not give you, the delectable public, a chance to listen to our reviews for 2 covers and 2 comics. So this week was the highly anticipated Big Game issue number 4. There's been some serious talk about this since issue 1. Mark Miller can do no wrong, working with Pepe Larraz on this one for Image Comics. And then we've got Zoe Thorogood's Hack and Slash Back to School issue number 1. Up first, we've got Hack and Slash, which is obviously by Image, written and with the art by Zoe Thorogood. We've got 4 covers. There's the main cover by Zoe Thorogood. Cover B is by Tim Seeley. Cover C is the Stefano Caselli variant cover. And cover D is a Tim Seeley, the 20th anniversary for The Walking Dead. Tom, you was very much looking forward to reading this, so would you like to take it away?
I was. So basically, this one came on my radar because Andy mentioned it at FOC and mentioned that it was Zoe Thorogood's new book and she was writing it. And he mentioned that Hack and Slash is quite a good series, and it's got some, like, a bit of a cult following. So I thought, you know what, let's give it a go. I've never read a Hack and Slash comic. So when I read the premise that it's basically she's a bit of a she hunts down horror kind of zombies, essentially, is what she's kind of hunting down. I thought, that sounds cool. I'm up for that. And this is about kind of how she got into it and the character of how, like, she kind of, like, became a zombie hunter, and kind of went to school to learn how to do it. So I was interested to see how this book panned out. And Zoe Thorogood is thoroughly good at writing and artwork. I was drawn in from page 1. And I think is that page 1 or page 2? The
page
one on the left. Literally, from that moment, I was in. I was like, this is going to be dark. I'm not normally into horror, but the way that she draws, it kind of takes that horror edge away, but you have got that real darkness to it. I mean, what was the one that we read? Is it the Rain that was like...
yes, Rain. Yeah.
Glass Rain, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That was quite a dark comic. But this just, for me, I thought it was really good, and I was gripped from start to finish. And I thought the character development was good. I thought the story itself was good. So you kind of follow her. She goes into this diner. It all kind of kicks off. Then she ends up in the school. Then you meet all the characters. And although it's one issue, I feel like I'm very much invested in the main character. I'm invested in her compadre, whose name I forgot. Is it Vincent? Her compadre, who's kind of like a Russian dude that speaks in... that's it. Yeah. Speaks in the third person. So I'm invested in him. I'm invested in the really cool character that's going to be obviously her rival, who doesn't talk really and is not happy when she turns up. I'm invested in that. And I thought, in one issue, I've managed to get invested in more than 4 or 5 characters. And I thought, this is going to be really good. I'm really excited to read issue 2. And it built really well. I thought the story built really well from the get-go. And the little bit about her mom in the middle, I thought really set the scene of why she's doing what she done and kind of the horrors she's been through, which I thought was excellent. What did you guys think?
Pete, what did you think, mate?
So I'm exactly the same as Tom. I've never read any hack slash. I've heard about it and I've been aware of it for a long time, but it just never really took my fancy. The artwork in this totally disarmed me. So like you say, it's quite almost a cartoony kind of art style. And then you get these images of just pure horror. And this scene in the middle here, where the zombie things start lopping off children's heads and stuff, I thought, oh, this isn't what I was expecting. It was much darker and much more graphic than I was expected. I thoroughly loved it. I thought it was brilliant. It's so much so that I've gone back and I'm starting to look at the past trade paperbacks to see if I can pick up some of the original stories and whatnot. I'll definitely be reading on in this. I love the whole school element of it, kind of building a team or whatever it's going to be. It's just very intriguing. So, and I'm kind of disappointed and annoyed with myself that this series is years old and I've never really dipped into it, because this made us want to read more. So yeah, loved it.
Do you know what issue they're on? Like, or they got to? Is it like
been going for years and years, hasn't it? I think, was it 2015 or something? Maybe it started or something like that.
I was going to say it's quite a high number, and I can imagine. I'm definitely heard of it, and someone's definitely mentioned it to me before, but I don't know whether it's one of those ones where, you know, you look at it and you go, "Oh, that's a commitment." I mean, I can't say anything because I started reading One Piece last year, so I've read 1,500 issues of that in a year, so I can't really complain. But you know, when you read or you start something and it's got like 100 issues, you're like, this is a commitment.
Yeah, I think it's broken into like little mini series or something. But yeah,
that's the name of Vlad.
Vlad. That's it. Yeah.
Now, I'm going to say something here, and I thought one of you two might have mentioned it. This for me was wicked. Like, I really enjoyed it. Like, it's peak time for it to come out, Halloween and stuff, all like the spooks and ghouls and stuff. Zoe Thorogood's artwork is fantastic. I've spoken to her at length at the Two Full Bubbles now, and she just literally, she says she just writes down and draws what she thinks of that, and she tries to create a story from it. She's got like her own published book. She's done a lot of stuff for Image. She's just written the latest Harley Quinn, red, white, and black, white, and redder. She's just done that. But for me, as much as I enjoyed it and I'm very invested, like I really, really want to read this and continue reading it, it's very, very much like loosely put, something is killing the children. When you look at it, it's kind of like these people have been taken over. She's kind of like, instead of hunting what they have to hunt in something is killing the children, she's hunting other entities and stuff that's been taken over. And especially when they pull up to the school of excellence or whatever it is, it's very much like when Erica Slaughter pulls up at the House of Slaughter. It's very much like that, and I think it's very loosely based from it. You can see where Zoe's pulled some stuff and ideas and concepts and everything from. Don't get me wrong, it's a great comic. I really, really did enjoy it, and there are some fun elements in there. There's some gory elements in there, and there's some like really close up character development, and the narrative is great. But it is very much like, it's kind of like there's some X-Men-esque issues in there where she goes into the university dorms and there's all these people running around with all different stuff, and then obviously something is killing the children. I might be wrong if there's people in the chat that have read it this week and think that I'm kind of like barking up the wrong tree, but for me that's where I was going. I
think you're right, Troy. I'm just having a quick Google here. It actually, the series started in 2004, so it's been around a hell of a long time.
So if anything, this is a prelude to what James Tennant has done to Something's Killing the Children. And all the hack slash like this, that they all tell the same kind of story.
It's all the. I don't think the school element is in the originals, but the element of her mother being killed or her hunting down these what they call slashers.
Yes,
I think is kind of from the start. I mean, I'm looking at some of the covers and they're very provocative. Is what, and I think that's what I remember from when it first came out. It didn't really sell the slasher part to me. I think.
I think you're right, Charlie. I think it has got elements of Something's Killing the Children and X-Mansion and the X-Men and stuff. But I think we live in a world now where most stories have already been told, so finding something original is quite difficult.
Yeah, of course.
But I do agree. I think that you can definitely tell there's a bit of inspiration there from those two particular things. I do think she's done a very good job of telling her own story, but because those two stories, the X-Men is such a prominent thing in our brains, and Something's Killing in the Children is such a great series that you are naturally going to compare them to this. But I think if you're going to read it, try and disconnect yourself from those things that you already know, because if you forget those two things, this is a very good standalone book that I'm hoping will be more. It also had a little bit talk about like similarities with Very Strange Academy in ways. But is that just because there's a school involved?
Yeah, maybe.
I think maybe it could. I mean, I'd love to get a blank cover of this and get Zoe to do like a commission on it at Thought Bubble. But this comic, like, I love it. Like that instance with the rabbit, you don't expect that at all. Like, that totally comes left field. You go there, the news is on the TV, they're sitting there eating their burgers and stuff, and then the next minute the bunny's going absolutely ballistic, and it's just literally decapitated everyone in its region. So, but it is a good story. It is a good story. But I don't know if I like it being so similar to Something's Killing Children. Hopefully that might change as the story goes on, but I think this was very much, it's Something's Killing Children. This is how we're going to do it. This is how we're setting things up. This is my take on it, and I'm all for it. I just wanted to point that out. I didn't know if anyone else had noticed that.
So I'm quite behind on Something's Killing Children. I've read the first hardcover, but I haven't read the House of Slaughter stuff yet. So maybe that's why I didn't pick the connection up as much.
But that's what Ed said. I'm behind. Haven't got up to either of these this week. Finally caught up with Kill Your Darlings. Kill Your Darlings is wicked. It's an absolutely great story. But overall, I'm invested in this. I think I'm going to keep picking it up. I'm going to keep enjoying it. I mean, I say it every week. I've got no comics on my pull list, but
is it an ongoing or is it a mini series? Do you know?
No, I think it's a mini series, mate. I think it's only like 5 or 6 issues.
Yeah, I think it's. I'm just going to check now. I think with Zoe Thorogood, when she did Rain, it was only 6 or 7 issues.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking that this one might be the same. Yeah, this one is coming up as 6 issues.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I
thought there was only a few.
Yeah, but it's good though. Definitely worth reading if people in the chat haven't read it yet. So give that a go. Up next, we've been looking forward to this. Our chat's been going a bit balmy. We've been looking forward to this. This is Big Game issue number 4, written by obviously the man at the moment, Mr. Mark Miller, and art by Pepe Larraz. Main cover is by said Pepe Larraz. Cover B is a Pepe Larraz black and white variant cover, and cover C, which I'm pretty pissed off about.
I was going to say. I'm thinking that as you were talking.
Is the cover C Matteo Scalera variant cover. I'm going to jump straight into this one, right? Because this was, we featured it on FOC a few weeks ago. Then we featured it on one of our indie picks. Cover C, if I've ever looked at a comic and thought, oh my God, this is what's going to happen, this one is a fucking curveball, because this guy, right, on this cover doesn't appear. They don't even allude to him, right? So I was fuming. Like, this is one of the best characters. I love this character.
Yeah.
I loved it. Right, and it doesn't even fucking show up in it. So that cover is 100% false advertisement. So straight off the bat, I'm fuming. I'm thinking, right, this story better have something good. Right. The cover here, does this not look like what is the chair from DC?
Mobius's chair. Is it Mobius?
That's
Mobius chair.
Mobius chair, yeah.
Is it Darkseid that sits in the Mobius chair?
It's Mobius normally, I think. The one that travels through time.
Yeah.
I think Darkseid's used it, so is Lex Luthor, I think, isn't he?
So this image really reminded me of that, and I think again it's Mark Miller doing his little take to like the rest of the superheroes and stuff like that. But with that said, I've had my little rant out the way, pretty pissed off. So I read the comic. Fuck me, this comic just gets better and better and better. Now, Pete, I think you picked this cover in the middle, this page in the middle, and Tom's picked one on the right. I've picked the one on the left because, for me, this just looks like Thanos walking out when he finds out that he's going to take over. I think is it in what was the last? Endgame. You know, where he finds out and he's coming out and he's like that. But then, if you look at your page, Pete, it's a carbon copy of Nemesis.
Yeah.
This comic for me was very focused on Hit Girl, and I really like that because I think she's a great character. Like Chloe Grace Moritz obviously played her in the films and stuff like that, but she's a badass, and I want to see more of her. I'm so glad that she didn't get killed off in the previous issue. But this, for me, this comic is, I've loved it that much. I've gone out and bought the trade paperback of Nemesis, to get
so
into
hard.
it, because I think he's one. If not, I think he's one of my favourite characters, and I haven't really known a lot about him since he's come out. But this comic's kicking off, lads. I think we can all agree this comic's kicking off. I just want to know what's going to happen in the last issue. I loved it.
There's only one left. I don't
It's
understand.
the last issue, isn't it? Yeah.
But-
I mean, I absolutely love this. I think it's a great story. I'm loving the action in it. Again, a bit like the last one, I don't know who any of these characters are. You know, I don't know who the guys in the past.
Yeah.
Never read anything about them before, but I don't think I needed to. I didn't feel like I was missing anything. I think Nemesis is a phenomenal character. He's like the anti-Batman, isn't he? And
Yeah.
I like that panel in the middle, because all of these high-powered heroes, they see him wandering in, it's like, oh shit, you know, we know we're screwed now, as they are. My only thing with this is, and I said it last time, he's wiped out so many big characters now. I'm calling it now. Next issue, there's going to be some kind of time jump, and we're getting them all back. I don't believe he's wiping out all of the Night Watch, or, you know, I just don't see it happening.
I don't know, mate. Because I know we spoke about this last week,
Yeah,
or last time we read it, and I thought that would happen in this issue.
yeah,
But I think one issue to bring all the more back to life and kind of time skip everything is a bit of a cop out, and I don't think he's going to do it.
yeah.
I really don't think he'll do it. I think what will happen is this comic will end with all those characters being dead, and then I don't know what will happen. To be fair, Kick-Ass is going to be the winner in this. 100% Kick-Ass is going to be the one that saves the
you can see
universe.
that. You can see that.
But then,
I-
is he going to throw a curveball at that one? Because last week we were all like issue 3 finished, and issue 4 we're like, yeah, 100% there's going to be a time skip, and everyone's going to come back. He didn't do that.
Yeah.
And then the whole like kind of will Kick-Ass, won't Kick-Ass take over. He's done a few things where you're like, oh, that's going to happen. Well, cool. I mean, he killed Batgirl off in issue 2.
Yeah.
I mean, and she only made her first appearance in issue 1. I mean, it's madness.
Yeah. I mean, I think I'm just looking forward to it. I'm really I just don't know why he kind of give that little nod to King of Spies, and it doesn't even feature in it. I was really pissed off with that. Normally when they do a cover like that, they kind of, at least they'll show a cameo of the character coming up, but this one didn't. And I think everyone was expecting, because obviously he died in King of Spies. He died at the end. His son killed him at the end. Then you see his son going off on a boat with his mum and stuff like that, which Pete, I think you could be onto something here, because are they showing that there is going to be a time jump and everyone's going to come back? Because I don't know, on the front of that cover, he was like quite a prominent, like if we have a look at it, he's quite prominent, and I don't know if these two characters have died in that before and they're going to come back, but I mean,
is it just a red herring? Is it because there's been so many of them in this book? There's been so many like, this is probably what's going to happen, and then it doesn't happen.
It just seems so strange for him to do a cover with those characters.
Yeah,
not
agreed.
Unless it is a total tease, and actually he's going to be the hero of the next issue. Him and Kick-Ass are going to team up. You know, the two humans are going to save everybody. That's got a certain poetry to it, I suppose, hasn't it?
I mean, he's got to make a comeback. Like King of Spies was one of my trade paperback and comic reads of 2021, and I think it's just. I'm looking forward to it. I think like Kick-Ass is going to be great. I do think though, I would love it if he just kills off all the characters and does what DC have never had the bollocks to do. Like, they've never killed off any of their big characters.
Well, I was reading something the other day as well, saying I forgot the names, guys. Is it Matthew Vaughn who directed the first Kick-Ass movies?
Yeah.
He said that there's going to be a new Kick-Ass movie coming out, and it's a total revamp. It's a brand new story, and you do wonder, is Mark Miller lining this up to be the relaunch of the next Kick-Ass movie, the next whatever movie, and all the rest of it? Like
wipe everyone out, start
again. Yeah.
No, I'm going through. I picked up a few weeks ago. I showed you. I picked up from Forbidden Planet. I picked up Kick-Ass Volume 1, 2, and 3, and I'm halfway through issue number 1. And I never realised how much of a fan of Mark Miller I actually am.
Oh, superb!
I kind of just read his stuff in passing and stuff, but I've never actually invested time in reading it. It's sensational.
Honestly, guys, I've just read volumes 1, 2, and 3. I'm waiting to get volume 4 of the Magic Order, who make an appearance in this book. They're the ones on the ship who are wanting to intervene. It is one of the best books I've ever read. Volume 1 in particular is just phenomenal. It's like jaw-droppingly good with like all the stuff we get in here. Twists and turns and setting stuff up, then all of a sudden it totally flipping on its other side. You know, I really do recommend it. It's superb.
Like he's just that scene on the boat was unreal. That scene on the boat in this was unreal.
Yeah. Do you know? I've just had a quick look while we were chatting on all the other covers. Do you know that someone else, another people that haven't turned up yet, are the Jupiter Legacy lot?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
And are they in this universe?
Well, it's all the. You made a big point, didn't you, of saying it was, and I'm sure when all the promo stuff for this came out, they were featured in that. Jupiter's Legacy.
Yeah. Well, they're on issue 1, issue 1, and then I think issue 2 has got a load of characters that I'm not familiar with who haven't been in this, who haven't died yet. So there's quite a few that he's teased, and they actually haven't made an appearance.
I just love the way that it seemed that Image and Mark invested a lot of time in the ambassadors, whereas now it seems like they was literally open and shut case. Like, that comic didn't do very well. We kill them all. We got rid of them.
Yeah.
See, I think I called that. I think near the end of the ambassadors run, I said, this just it feels too much like setting people up. Do you know what I mean? And yeah, I think Mark Miller's a very clever guy. I think he set that entire series up to be cannon fodder, basically.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, 100% cannon fodder.
But this has been a talking point. Like every time it comes out, we talk about it in the chat and stuff. And I'm very much looking forward to it. I think Nemesis is a badass character, and I'm becoming a fan of his. I'm looking forward to just sitting down and just reading that, because I think he's going to be awesome. I mean, he's kind of like the number 2 in this, because the number 1, the leader, is the one on the right hand side. It's
Wesley in it, yeah.
So it's interesting, but I'm very much looking forward to this. But I can't see how this is going to end in 32 pages.
You know what? Part of us, as much as I'd be very sad to not see some of the characters again, because I do like the Night Watch and people like that.
Yeah.
I really hope he doesn't cop out in the next issue. I don't. Although I think there will be a time element to it. I don't want that, because that will feel like a bit of a fingers up to the series. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I think so. But I've enjoyed this. If anyone in the chat's reading it, give us a thumbs up. Yeah. Tickle that subscription bell, and we can keep telling you about how much we love this comic when it comes out every single week. So yes, and that's that. So should we have a little jingle?
Ooh.
A little jingle. Oh, that sounded rude.
It's that time of the week, people. Sit back, relax, and just doing my Tobey Maguire dance.
Nice.
Love that. This is it. You missed this last week, guys. It is the road to Thought Bubble. We are, 2 weeks away from setting sail, getting drunk, doing some GIF shots and bleach shots in the Wetherspoons, where we take over the corn for the next 6 hours, and then we drink into oblivion, and then we go and pretend we love comics and walk around a comic mart, which would be interesting. But this is it. And we tell me like each other, and then we go back to slagging each other off on YouTube, the community-based show. Yeah. There we go. So this is the road.
All you want about me, I won't be there.
There we go. So this is the go on, Pete. Go on.
I was going to say we should stream Tom live, shouldn't we? We should just get a phone set up with Tom on it, and we should just have him in the room. And you can take a shot every time we drink.
Yeah. There we go. That's fine. There we go. Look. Yeah. Dan has said, "Where's the bus?" That's the bus that me and Ed will be on travelling up, and it will probably be as rickety as that as well. Exactly.
True story. We nearly killed James Mack on Saturday with one shot, and he nearly died. It was hilarious.
What was it?
Well, he went and got it himself. It was the shit I normally buy. What do you call it? Sambuca. Yeah, but he did one shot, and I thought he was going to pass out. It was horrendous.
Jesus, yeah. Connor's just been bummed out. Bummed out. Lucky you, Connor, and it's only 9:30 on a Thursday. Bummed out I'm missing it this year, but at least I'm safe from the banana and chili shots. Yes, you are.
Connie, I know where you live. Oh, that sounds wrong, doesn't it? I know where you live, Connie. I'll pop around with some shots. You'll be fine. Don't worry.
There we go. So this is the road to... Go around you with a hand. So this is the road to Thought Bubble. There we go. So we've had 2 weeks so far. We've had John Lee's, which Pete, you smashed it out of the park with that. Fanboyed all the way. Last week, me and James gushed over to Lilite. This week, we've got the amazing Jeff Lemire, and then next week, we have Jason Aaron, which is going to be interesting. And I know Tom's got a nice one lined up for that. I'm not sure where Tom's gone. But so let's jump straight in. So we have Jeff Lemire. Now you can follow him over on Instagram at instagram.com/Jeff Lemire, and then you can go to the Twitter or AKA X or whatever you want to call it now, Jeff Lemire. Now, for those of you that don't know, Jeff has been around in the comic game for years and years, and he is a New York Times best-selling and award-winning author and creator of the acclaimed graphic novel Sweet Tooth, Essex County.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Whoa, I don't think he's from Essex. Is he from Essex?
Essex County, The Underwater Wielder, Trillium, Platonia, Black Hammer, Descender, Little Vampires, it's not Little Vampires, it's Little Monsters, and Gideon Falls. His upcoming projects include a host of series and original graphic novels, including the fantasy series Ascender with Dustin and Guyen. Are we fans of Jeff Lemire?
So I'm looking at the list there. I know I've read Essex County, and I've got Black. Yeah, I've got Black Hammer to read, and I am a massive fan of Gideon Falls. I really like that, but I don't know the rest of his stuff. I don't think I've never heard of Underwater Welder. That doesn't sound like my cup of tea.
Well,
Underwater Welder.
Underwater Welder.
Sean has said it's a phenomenal read. So I might have to...
What's it about? Is it about
Underwater
a welder?
Welder was a phenomenal read.
I've got a feeling it's about an underwater welder that his welder doesn't work because he's underwater.
Because he's underwater.
Yeah. Underwater.
I can't get it. There we go. I love Jeff. Descender is amazing, and Sweet Tooth. So this is the intro. So up first, we obviously got all the way back in 2007, we have Essex County, as it were, volumes 1, 2, and 3. Volume 1 was Tales from the Farm. Volume 2 was Ghost Stories, and Volume 3 was why can't I say it? The Country Nurse. I can't say it tonight. The Country Nurse. There we go.
So I've not. Do you know? I just said that I've read Essex County.
Yeah.
I haven't. I've not read any of that shit. I don't know what that is. I've read something County. I thought it was by Jeff Lemire, but it's not. I've not read that.
I've read that. No, I've read any of that shit.
You know that show I'm doing on a Thursday night? I'm on the wrong one.
Yeah. Is it Underwater Welder?
Underwater Welder, I might have read. Aye.
So right, this is Essex County. So these are just some panels from Volume 1, Volume 2, and Volume 3. And as you can see, like Jeff's early work was very cartoonesque. Like it was very Sunday newspaper. Pick up your Sunday newspaper, and you had the comics in the back of it. Very like, do you know what I mean? This is how it is. I quite like it. I quite like it. I know, Tom, you're not a massive fan of black and white artwork.
Are you joking? I read Japanese manga, mate. It's all in black and white.
Yeah, but that's different because that's what am I trying to say? Like, not that. Who did I have this conversation with?
Probably Andy, mate. I don't think he liked black and white.
There was a comic I spoke. I don't think it was Jeff Lemire though, and it was about black and white, and the whole comic was it. I can't remember what it's called. But
May's book is black and white, apart from red.
I don't think it was a Jeff Lemire comic, but I remember having a conversation with someone saying, "Oh, they didn't really like black and white comics," and I didn't until I read that comic. But having a look at this is great. Like the paneling of this is awesome. It just reminds me of old school Beano comics.
Yeah.
And it's very, very good. I mean, this came out in 2007, so this is like nearly 20 years old. Do you know what I mean? And it's just, it looks wicked. I think if this was to come out now, I think this is timeless, to be fair. I'm not quite sure what the character's about. They all seem to have like dodgy noggins and stuff. Like, look at the size of their noses. I think the first one is about a superhero. A kid wants to be a superhero. The second one is about, it seems like an American football thing. And then the third one seems to be about Doris. She's just waiting for her washing to dry, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is Essex County, Volume 1, 2, and 3. It came out in 2007. Sweet Tooth. Everyone knows about Sweet Tooth. So obviously this came out in 2009 and ran for 4 years, all the way up to 2013. We've got Volume 1 there, Volume 2, and Volume 3. And then obviously this came into a TV show in 2021, which I hadn't even read any Sweet Tooth anything.
I still haven't read any Sweet Tooth.
No, me neither.
Well, that's like me until the TV show come out. Have either of you watched the TV show?
I've not seen it.
I'll say, unfortunately, not. I know it's been critically acclaimed and people have really gone mad for it, but I know I haven't.
I mean, I didn't really like. I've been a fan of Jeff for years, but I didn't get into Sweet Tooth. I just thought, I don't know if I'm going to bother with it. Then I watched this, and it was one of them shows that I kind of watched in the background, had it on, and then I found myself not doing what I was meant to do. And 4 or 5 episodes in, I'm like, this is great. This was amazing. I really enjoyed it. But I don't know. I want to go back and read the comics because I want to find out how true the comics are to the TV show. Because when they go from comics, they kind of change and have to do that for like the audience and stuff like that. I'd be interested to see if that changed. But I mean, this is one of his his most well known bits of art, Sweet Tooth. So that was that. Then going on from this, from 2011 to 2014, this here, I didn't even know about this. This is Animal Man. So this is one of DC's probably least favourite and talked about characters. This is from the New 52 all the way back in 2011. Not even sure what this is about, but I kind of see it and was like, this is freaky as hell.
So I read
I
this.
remember, I was going to say, I remember this vaguely. He didn't do the artwork, though, the interior.
I don't think so.
No.
So I remember this because this was one of the New 52 kind of initial lines, and
awful New 52.
Awful, awful. I think I tried to read pretty much everything they put out just to have a go at it. This I quite liked the character of Animal Man in the pre-52. This was really dark and really gritty, and he introduced this concept of the red, which is like the animal kingdom but decomposing. Do you know how Swamp Thing's got the connection to the green? Mm-hmm. Animal Man's got connection to the red, which is like decomposing animals and things like that. And it's all quite dark, and it didn't flow. I think I managed 4 or 5 issues, and I withdrew from this one.
Yeah, his name's Bernhard Buddy Baker. Is a superhero appearing in American comic books published by DC. As a result of being in proximity to an exploding extraterrestrial spaceship, Buddy Baker acquires the ability to temporarily borrow the abilities of animals, live or dead. Yeah. Great. Nice. So but I mean, this just looks gory. No wonder DC didn't invest a lot of time in this. I mean, because it don't look great. But yeah, this ran from 2011 to 2014, and I think with Jeff being
it had quite a good run then.
Yeah. And I think with Jeff being at Thought Bubble, a lot of the old fans are going to be bringing comics like this.
Yeah,
I think there'll be a big queue for Jeff Lemire this year. So yeah, there's that. Then we've got, so I've spoke about this quite a few times. This is from Image Comics. This was Family Tree. This came out in 2019 and ran until 2021. I love this. I really enjoyed it. And this kind of, for me, kind of put Jeff Lemire on the map for me. I kind of understood him. Obviously, like, he's done years of stuff. But for me, this is one of the first comics from Jeff that I read. And I really enjoyed it because the way he kind of touches on like the family aspect and the feelings of the characters and stuff, I kind of endeared to it and I really enjoyed it. And I've kind of broken it down a bit here. It says Family Tree is a comic book series published by Image Comics and ran from 2019 to 2020. It says 2020, but it's 2021 when the trade paperback came out. This series is a blend of horror and family drama, and it features Lemire's distinctive storytelling style. The story revolves around the Hayes family, particularly a young girl named Meg. Meg's life takes a turn for the worse when she begins to transform into a tree. Now, when I first read that premise, I was like, where is this story branching out to? Because I can't.
Well done. I like that. Yeah, nicely done. Yeah.
How long have you been holding on to that joke?
So hold on. So, but when I found out where it branched from, when you get into issue 6, it goes back to the root of the story. Right? Yeah. So it goes back to the root of the problem. As her condition progresses, her family goes on a harrowing journey to find a cure and understands that the mysterious supernatural forces are at play. Family Tree is known for its exploration of family bonds, survival, and transformation. Jeff Lemire both wrote and illustrated the series, which showcases his unique approach to storytelling and character development. The series received positive reviews for its intriguing and original premise, as well as Lemire's distinctive art style. If you enjoy horror and family-based focused narratives, Family Tree is worth checking out. Honestly, it sounds like a really messed up story, and it sounds like something that is so out there, like a young girl turns into a tree. But the character development into this leaves nothing to the imagination.
Very good. I've never even heard of this. Never even heard of it.
Honestly, I this was as I mentioned, I stumbled upon this. I think I picked it up. It was in one of my pull lists, and it wasn't meant to be there. And I read it, really enjoyed it, and it kind of, as I said, it put Jeff Lemire on the map for me. But it is a good comic. You can pick it up trade paperback. I think it's like pretty cheap, something like 6, 7, 8, 9, 9. But it was enjoyable. So that was that. Then we move on from that. May's book 2021, which I think a few of us have read. Tom, what did you think about May's book?
Do you know what, mate? I'll be honest. I read issue 1, 2, and 3, and then I got lost in the maze.
Yep.
I had no idea what was going on.
It's one of those books that I've read, and I'd love to sit here and say I absolutely loved it, and I did. I thought the artwork was beautiful. I think the overall storyline of loss is really heart-wrenching. But it was probably 2 or 3 issues too long for me, and it dragged it out to the point where, a bit like Tom, I was thinking, what the hell is I don't even know what we're talking about anymore. Is the bull thing real, or is it all in his mind, or what? And I started to lose interest a bit, if I'm honest.
It's when the dog started talking, I was like, wow, this is, I'm done. Dude's having a psychotic break.
Yeah, it did. It kind of like, and I think when we reviewed this on the show, we said the same thing. We was like, this could have ended after 3 issues. It kind of dragged out. But what I've noticed on this is that this red ribbon or string or whatever, it focuses in some of his comics. It focuses in fish flies. It focuses in that, which kind of made me think, is it focused in any other comics? So I kind of want to go back and see if it is. But I mean, I think we've said it time and time again. With some of the Jeff Lemire comics, it's kind of like he gets to a certain point and then he switches off. And then he kind of goes and does something else and goes, I've left that comic unfinished. I need to go back and finish it. It did, I think it got to about 3 or 4 issues and it was kind of like, is this now? I'm kind of lost. Maybe that was the whole premise of the comic. You read it, you get lost, and you just kind of just give up. So that was that ran from 2021. Then we've got Little Monsters. I really enjoyed this, but again, it got to 6 issues in, and I was kind of like, it ended at 6 issues. That's when it was meant to end, and then it actually ended up finishing on issue 13, which ended 3 months ago. I don't know if any of you read this, but I really enjoyed it. Tom, I know you was reading it up until a point.
Did we reviewed most of them? I think I got to issue. Did you say it went up to issue 8?
13.
30. Oh, so I was off at issue 7 then. Yeah, I didn't read it any further than issue 7.
I've read a few of the issues. I think I read the first couple of issues. I love a horror story. I love a vampire tale. Have to be honest, this one bored me. I just didn't find it very... For whatever reason, this one just didn't really click with me. Maybe I would enjoy it more in trade paperback where you've got the complete story, you know. But reading it month to month, it wasn't exciting as to pick up the next issue.
Yeah. But I mean, that was that I mean, I've got to agree with you on that. It kind of just dragged on a bit. Obviously, it was very inspired by kind of Twilight, what is it, Lost Boys and stuff like that. But I mean, it was enjoyable. But I mean, it's nothing really to write home about. I will pick up the trade paperback though.
Yeah,
I will.
Have you read? Did you say you've read all of them, Charlie?
Yeah.
How does it end?
I don't want to give it away because it kind of. It's a good ending, but it was unneeded, if you kind of mean, because it kind of goes back to something that happened in issue number 7, and because obviously you kind of every single issue you learn about a different character, like you learn about all the different characters and stuff, and it kind of it's always alluding to the fact that this isn't going to happen, and then when it does, it's kind of like, well, I wish I knew that 5 issues ago, but so that's Little Monsters. Then, obviously, this is his work that he's got currently going on. So, obviously, we've got Phantom Road, which is up to issue 6 at the moment, which is quite good. We've got this is the weird one. This is like the Mythos Tenement. This is the Mythos is. The one of them was there was black crows in one of the ones that I read, and I found it so disturbing. Pete, you're shaking your head. I know you've read this.
I'm up to speed with this. I think is it up to issue 3 now? I think
3, yeah.
It's doing my tits in. Honestly, it's. Do you know what? I like to be intrigued in comics, but if I feel completely lost, if I feel like I haven't got a frigging clue what's going on, it starts to turn us off.
Yeah.
This has got lovely artwork. It's quite creepy. But can I hella work out what's happening or what's going on? It's just like I read the words, but nothing clicks in my brain, if that makes sense.
That's it. That's it.
So yeah, It's not floating me boat. But again, I sometimes think my reading style, I think I get more out of a book when I read a complete story in one sitting rather than month to month. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'd agree with that, mate.
I think that's very much how I'm going now as trade paperbacks. Like sitting there reading the Mark Millar comics, I'm enjoying it because I'm like, I've got another one off this. I've got another trade paperback of like 180 pages.
Yeah.
And then obviously we've got Fish Fires, which we touched on last week, which is enjoyable. And you're laughing.
Yeah, again, I think we reviewed the Summation show. I didn't have a bloody clue what was happening. I didn't know what was going on.
I think, but do you not think like Jeff's tapped into something here? Because all his comics, no one knows what the fuck's going on, but people still read them.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like he's cornered a market where people are like, fucking hell, what is going on? I need to read the next one to find out. And then you're like, I'm none the wiser, so I need to buy the next issue and the next issue. It's a very shrewd move if he's planned that way. Very shrewd move. So I do take my proverbial hat off to him, but it's very, very. But yeah, it's going to be interesting. And then we've just got some of his commissions. Like you can't knock his work. His work. So this is from Essex County, volume number 1. This is obviously Pete. I know who's this. This is
The Question.
The Question. There we go. And this is obviously I think that's Superman. There we go.
I'm not so keen on his Batman. I have to say.
I mean, let's be honest. That Batman looks like some kid's done it. You can stick it on the fridge. No offense.
Yeah.
But the thing is, though,
Batman than that.
But even that one on the left hand side, Tom, you could say like a teenager's done that. You know what I mean?
I don't know.
Like,
I think the one on the left hand side does look like a professional artist's done it. That's all I'll say. That's the difference. I think you can say a good artist has done that one on the left. The one on the right, any old man in his hat could probably do. It's probably been done on a napkin in the pub.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, that was
But
SDCC 2012, and it'd be interesting to see how long it took him to do that, like how quickly he done it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but you know they this I think that actually probably most likely is what Jock. Do you remember Jock told us?
Yes.
That they used to do years ago. They used to do drink and draw Batman. At conventions, they used to get pissed, and then they draw Batman. They'd all have competitions of who could draw the best Batman when they're pissed. So that could well be from that.
But I quite like that Batman. I quite like it because I think like that is like how we would be if he was like a commoner like me and you. He just puts on his coat and thinks, "Fuck, what tonight? For fuck's sake, here we go again."
Yeah, not shaven, like really dishevelled.
Oh, yeah, but yeah, I look forward to it. And then obviously these are where it kind of. Yeah, they're pretty good, aren't they?
Yeah.
Can't really knock him for that.
Usagi's good.
Yeah, that. But yeah, I mean, I do like Jeff Lemire. I'm looking forward to him. I've got a few comics that I'm going to take and get signed at Thought Bubble. I'm looking forward to it. So that's Jeff Lemire, lads. I hope you enjoyed it. Next week, Tom is doing Jason Aaron.
Yeah,
I'm going to try.
He's going to try.
Excited about that one.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Looking forward to that. So that's Jeff Lemire. That's done. So now we are at the final order cutoff for the FOC Fock Office Thursday top 3. Now I say this every single week. Final order cutoff is the date. Retailers must submit their orders before the publisher. So basically, if you don't get your orders in, whoever you're using for FOC, we would suggest Slab Crusaders. If you don't get them into James before 9 o'clock on a Sunday, there is a possibility that you will not get the comic that you want or that you want to need or you need to read, etc., etc. So up first, I've gone for Batman Santa Claus Silent Night issue number 1. This is the Ben Oliver. This is interesting. The Rub and Smell variant cover.
Interesting.
Okay.
Now
so what are you rubbing and smelling?
This is what I really, really don't know. But the and it says cover D Ben Oliver Rub and Smell variant cover. Now I don't know if it's going to smell like blood or anything. But the premise of this is the 4-part crossover event of a generation begins with a not-so-jolly St. Nick hits Gotham City to investigate a brutal crime in the days leading up to Christmas. What manner of a man or beast could have committed such a crime of attacking Santa Claus on the night before Christmas Eve?
Say Santa Claus again. That was really good.
Santa Claus.
Yes, you said Santa Claus. It was nice.
Santa Claus. There we go. So yeah, I'm looking forward to reading this. I've already got this on a pre-order. So yes,
I'm gonna have to get that. I'm gonna have to get that just for the sniffability of it.
Yeah, I'm intrigued.
Yeah.
And I think looking at some forums and stuff, they would like the comics. Even at League of Comic Book Geeks, someone's commented on what part of that is rub and smell, and what part of do I want to buy that comic?
my
That
God.
one, that I'm not interested, or two, I just want to find out what it's for. So I
my
think
God.
it's going to go on.
Imagine it's his breath. You scratch where his mouth is. It's just like just
Vom,
really
vomit.
bad breath.
Alcohol.
Yeah.
Oh, sour milk and cookies.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll be like,
You scratch it. And it's like,
oh. So that's my pick.
oh mate, scratch and sniff. I've gone for the Holy Roller, issue 1. I've gone for the Roland Boschish variant cover of this one. It's written by Andy Samberg, and it's going to be quite a good one. So there's a couple of lads from this who are involved in the writing of this that were in the TV show. I forgot what they're called, but you know the band that do the piss take songs.
Yes.
It's them. They've written it. They've written this book.
Rick Remender.
Yes.
Joe Trollman. Andy
Yes, I'm just trying to
Samberg.
remember what the name of the band is. They're in Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Oh yes, yeah.
It's those guys.
This looks
Lonely
interesting,
Island.
Oh, yeah, I think I know what you mean, yeah.
It's the Lonely Island boys that have written this book.
But it's just I'm just like kind of reading it now, and it says to care for his ailing father, pro bowler Levi Cohen is forced to quit his dream job and return to his hometown, which he soon discovers has been overrun by neo-Nazis. With only his bowling ball collection to defend himself, Levi becomes the Holy Roller, a trick bowling ball wielding Jewish superhero battling to liberate his home and bowl a perfect game against crime.
And now
What's
you can see
not
why I
to
picked
love?
it.
Yeah, what's not to love?
What's not to love? There we go. So that is the Holy Roller, issue number 1 from Image Comics. And I'm sure I got this right. Did I get this right? Yeah, I did get this right.
Yeah,
Look at that. Look at that cover, man. It's just superb. I'm a
Look
huge
at that cover,
look at
man.
that cover, man. I'm a huge Godzilla fan anyway. Monsterverse. I'm really into all those movies. I'm hyper for this series, this mini series. So this is Justice League versus Godzilla versus Kong, issue number 2. Picked this one just because the cover of Superman in the mouth of Godzilla I think looks stunning. Basically says Legendary's Monsterverse has been unleashed on the DC universe and cities are threatened across the globe, from Metropolis to Gotham to Themyscira. The Justice League scrambles to protect the citizens from these raging titans. What role has the Legion of Doom played in all this monster madness, and how will the tide of battle change when a hero falls? So yeah, I think this will just be fun. Do you know what I mean? Stupid fun. Yeah.
I think, yeah. I mean, I've read the first issue and I was like, really?
Well, I've not read it yet. Is it
No.
not the best?
The first, I mean, it's just pointless. It just seems like a cash cow. I mean, because I think issue number 1 came out when I think they released the trailer for Kong vs. Godzilla 2 or whatever it was. So they kind of jumped on the bandwagon of that. But I mean, yeah, what isn't to love about the Justice League? Godzilla vs. Kong as well. So yeah, it's gonna be interesting. I think it'll be good. It's definitely worth £3 or £4 in it. So I mean, you can't really knock that. So yeah, as mentioned, scan them. It's not only these 3 comics that we picked. There are loads over there. You've got DC, you've got Marvel, you've got cover selections and stuff like that. So go over. And I don't think, honestly, I might be a bit biased, but I mean, I've got my pull list with James over at Slab Crusaders, and I don't think I've received any comics from him that, 1, haven't been in a back on board, and 2, that haven't been to a high quality. So yeah, go over there. And honestly, you're not going to get a cheaper comic in a bag and ball.
No.
If I'm being honest,
No.
you really, really won't. So that's that. So now we are on to the killer indie picks for the 1st of November, which is next week. Up first, Thomas.
Yeah, so I've gone a bit different this week. I've gone for Udon's new series, the Street Fighter Omega issue 1, written by Matt Molan and artwork by Joe Ning. Go with that. Go with Joe. Yeah, good old Joe. This is basically coming off the bat of the new Street Fighter video game. And this is basically a retelling of the original Street Fighter series with slight differences. So they've made Zangief a good guy rather than a bad guy. E Honda is a good guy rather than a bad guy. So it's going to be quite an enjoyable book, I think. They're retailing the story in slightly different ways. So
there's 24 different artists on this book.
Yes.
Matt.
24. Yeah.
Cover
It says-
artists are in the issue.
It says celebrating 20 years of Udon's Street Fighter comic. Street Fighter Omega brings together 24 artists to tell an epic Street Fighter story throughout a gallery of all new cover illustrations. See seasoned world warriors and fresh challengers alike cross fist in this special anniversary one shot. So from what I read from that, it just seems to be a cover book. It just seems to be images.
Yeah, it is, mate.
Which-
So they're changing
So that'd be
the
amazing.
premise of stuff. Yeah.
That seems wicked. If this was like a wraparound cover, that'd be wicked. Because this is very much like the Street Fighter versus Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles cover, isn't it? What they did a few weeks ago.
Yeah. I think that's Joe as well.
Yeah, I think this is going to be wicked. I love Blanco in the bottom there. He looks awesome, doesn't he? Zangief. Pete.
I've not read much Street Fighter, to be honest.
Oh, mate, some of the classic stuff's amazing.
Yeah.
Give it a read.
So I'm just flicking through to find this one. I picked this one purely for a cover by. It's by a Blaze. I don't know if you guys have read much of Blaze stuff.
Love a Blaze.
I think they do some great comics. Yeah. This looks like a kind of a zombie apocalypse deal. Mm-hmm. I thought the cover looked amazing with the kind of the spine hanging out of the person on the back there. You know, I love my horror. So yeah, it looks interesting. It basically says Almost Dead is a new apocalyptic horror drama adventure about triumph, growth, and the resilience of human spirit, brought to you by the writer and Comic Con Radio Spoiler Magazine founder, Galaxy and Eisner nominated artist Ryan Benjamin. So basically, it's about someone who, after having an accident on her way home to visit her family, she wakes up to find the world has changed. Now she must travel up the eastern seaboard using suppressed survival skills she learned as a child in the hopes of reuniting with her loved ones amidst a zombie apocalypse. It just sounds cool.
This looks wicked. Yeah, I'm up for reading this. I think it was AWA that did like a zombie type of comic, which was pretty good. But did you read Kids, KIDZ from Ablaze?
No, I don't think I read that.
That was wicked. If you get a chance to read it, it's wicked. It's like the Goonies meets Indiana Jones meets Little Monsters meets The Walking Dead. It's wicked. And they did like masses and masses of movie style covers. One from the Goonies, one from like the Lost Boys, and
Missed
like
that one?
It was wicked. I'll send you the link for it, Pete, because obviously I think there's a trade paperback out now. But this looks wicked. This looks like a computer game.
That's what I thought. I thought it looked quite gamey.
Yeah,
But the cover looks great.
Yeah,
it looks very similar to that show that's on Netflix with Dave Bautista in, where they go into Vegas.
Yes, yeah. What is that?
They're doing a sequel, aren't they?
Yeah.
Are they?
I think so. Yeah.
It's I can't remember what Dawn of the Dead. Is it Dawn of the Dead?
No,
Dawn of the Dead or something.
Can't remember.
But if you do want to watch a good film, watch Evil Dead Rises. That's great.
Oh, it's tremendous.
Awesome film. Awesome film.
Tom, not for you, mate.
Tom, you won't like that. But awesome film. But Almost
I took
Dead.
my wife to see that because I'm a romantic sort.
Clearly.
Yeah, at the start where, I mean, Tom, definitely not for you. When she rips her hair out, the scalp bit alone, I just turned to us and looked and said, what the holy shit is this? It was like, it's fun, it's romantic. It'd be nice.
But the ending of it was fucking horrific.
Yeah.
The ending was horrific. I never want to be trapped in a fucking car parking lot ever again. Yeah. Let's just say that. So yeah, Almost Dead, issue number 1, written by Galaxy. What a fucking name. What an absolute awesome name. And then I've gone for Canary.
Yes, Charlie.
So this has been out on Comixology for a fair few years, right? Fair years. And this is sensational. Now, when Dan was on the show, I think he was on the show the first time we spoke about this cover in depth. And he said that this is one of the most interesting covers that he's ever done, because there were so many elements involved in this, like making sure that the barrel of the gun fit correctly, making sure like the gun was perfectly formed to create like the Mexican face in that, and every part of that tells a part of the story throughout the issues. And he said it was great. And I've read all of these issues. I read them on Comixology, and they are fantastic. And luckily for me, I was sent something by Dan in regards to something that they couldn't show in this comic, and I feel very privileged to be sent that. And if they had kept it in the comic, I don't think this comic would have been published. If I'm being honest, it's sensational. I'll share it with you guys. I think Tom, I think you might have seen it.
No, mate, you don't share nothing with me.
It was sensational, and it's such a great comic. Honestly, I think it's like six issues, and it's awesome. it's just honestly, if you like your westerns, if you like your gunfights and your characters and stuff like that, your Wild West, definitely pick this up, because what I've noticed is that a lot of the comicsology stuff, Dark Horse Comics seem to be picking up. They seem to be picking, like they did this, they did what was the Snow Angels, which was on Comicsology, they picked that up as well. So I think it's quite obvious that Dark Horse Comics seem to have a partnership with Comicsology, that whatever comics come out, they kind of take them on. But definitely, if anyone in the chat has read this, I think you'll agree with me that it's a sensational comic. So yes, head over and pick that up and give that a read. Now, here we go. We're at that time again, Tom, the killer cover scoreboard. I think you are 2 comics behind. I do apologise for that. But then we do have a trade paperback in there. So I'm only joking, mate. I love you, really. No, you are winning. What are the scores on the doors, Jules Draws?
So in last place is yourself.
Of course it is. Why wouldn't it? Why
Sorry,
change the
mate.
habit of a lifetime?
In second place is me, which means Peter has won this week.
Oh, look at you, Peter.
Gabriello Dell'Otto.
Just have to do a bit of a flash, and then
what were the votes? What were the votes, Tom?
So 28 votes, 17% for you, Charlie. 32% for me, and then 50% bang on for Peter.
Look at that. I think it's safe to say that Peter's finally found out how to use the bots. Well done. Let's have a round of applause. Round of applause for the bots. There we go. But
what's my prize? What do I get?
Absolutely fuck all.
When you get to Thought Bubble, I'll give you a little tickle.
A little tummy tickle. Ooh, I like that.
There we go. Little tickle and a banana shot. There we go. So, there we go. It is the old housekeeping part that comes up every single week. Instagram /Geeky Guy Comics, and Twitter, X, whatever we're doing now, the X Factor, Geeky Guy Comics. Tom?
Yeah, you can find me on Instagram on Not Quite Mint, or you can find me on my PT journey on Tom Malin PT, also on Instagram.
I do have to say, Tom, sorry to interrupt you, Pete, but I do have to say, Tom, your videos that you send out of you weightlifting are very, very inspirational. I've got to say, like the one you posted yesterday of the one to do at the end of the session with the bag and stuff.
Yeah,
I'm enjoying watching it. Like, I need to kind of just get a kick up the arse and kind of do some fucking stuff. And you are promoting that in the right way. So massive shout out to you for that, mate. Massive shout out.
I appreciate that, mate. Really, really appreciate it. I'm trying to kind of promote the idea of like good habits, basically. I don't want everyone to become 6-pack monsters and become like bodybuilders. I want everyone to become good versions of themselves, but change habits slightly. I don't want you to change the world. I don't want you to give up beer and have a pizza with your friends and family. I mean, who wants that? But yes, thank you. I appreciate that, mate. Really appreciate those kind words.
I love them. I mean, I think I've messaged you, Tom. I think they're incredible. It's just very inspiring.
Thank you, Mr. James C. Keegan is in the chat. Is that one good scare? Good afternoon, good evening, Jay. Hello, baby. There we go. Adam Cole, baby. And Peter, where can we find your lovely self?
Everywhere. So I'm over on
Spread.
It's like a spread eagle. Over on Triple J Comics.
He's like fucking Tesco's. He's open 24/7.
Every little help. There we go.
Yeah, that was me. That was my nickname at uni. Yeah, open everywhere. So you can find us on Triple J Comics on Instagram and YouTube and that X thing and all the rest of it, and also over on One Good Scare Show. That's a new horror channel. Lots of stuff coming out as usual.
And then obviously we've got the one of the sexiest looking Instagrams for the Killer Comic Show, giving you the content that you never knew you fucking needed, but we're going to give it to you anyway. Every single day we have stuff coming out. So that's that. And I'm not sure where we are now. Oh yes, it's the Killer Comic Show sneak peek for next week. So these are the 4 comments that will be going up in the community tab at around 10:30 tonight, and you can place your votes. Peter.
Oh, yeah, Dracula, look at it, man. Look at it. James Tinian writing Dracula. The art on this book, some of the covers are just phenomenal. I'm just really excited to read this. I can't wait. James Tinian's done amazing work previously on some of his horror books. I think you will knock this out the park. That said, mind, I have to say, just looking at all 4 of these covers, these are all cracking books. So looking forward to reading any of these.
I wouldn't mind reading any of these books this week.
Yeah. Tom, you went for Gone, didn't you?
So I've gone for Gone, completely gone, out of nowhere.
Fucking gone, he's gone. Where's he gone? Where's he gone?
I don't want to do anything. No, so I've gone for Gone. It's from the new publisher's Distillery, and it is done by the amazing Jock, both written and artwork by Jock. So I kind of bit of a homage to Andy, really. This is the kind of why I picked it. I thought it'd be nice to read as a bit of a homage to Andy because he obviously is a Jock fan. And also the premise is it's about a 13-year-old girl called Abby who's kind of lost in space. So I kind of fancied reading that about her journey and what she's going to do to kind of this sci-fi adventure that she's got ahead of herself. So yeah, quite fancy that one.
I'm looking forward to reading this. Yeah, I'm looking forward to reading this. I've gone for, I think it was a no-brainer. Good friend of mine, Dan Panosian, Alice Ever After, issue number 4. I've already read it, and it is. Oh, I just love it. This comic can do no wrong. This comic can do no wrong. And then obviously we've gone for Void Rivals issue number 5. I've only read up to issue number 2.
Same.
Am I missing out, boys, or are we already?
Yes.
Yeah, I only read up to issue 2 and then I've fallen behind, so I'm looking forward to catching up.
Yeah, okay. It's really good. The only thing I would say about Void Rivals, and I think we said this after reading issue 2, is it is basically a setup for the Energon universe.
Yeah.
So like, there's lots to it. There's obviously G.I. Joe are involved. You've got Transformers are involved. There's some other bits that are involved. So I would say it's just a huge kind of like gateway to what they're going to do. But it is good. The idea behind it is really good, and the kind of the politics behind it's really good. So it's very Romeo Juliet, which I think is quite cool.
Yeah. But I mean, and while we're touching on Distillery, I'm very much looking forward to. We've got some good news. You know, Chip Mosher, one of the main founders of Distillery, I will be giving an interview with him live from Thought Bubble. We're just trying to work out the times that I'm going to be doing it, but I'm very much going to be interested in doing that. I don't know if we're going to go live or we just will record it as a pre-video. But yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I can't wait to that because I think it's going to be. I think Thought Bubble this year is going to be very much Distillery driven. I think because a lot of the artists, especially Tula Latte, who created Thought Bubble, she's obviously one of the people that have joined them and stuff. And then we've got the likes of Jock and Ram V and Becky Cloonan, Tinian and stuff like that. So they're all kind of there.
Did you see they're doing a launch party on the Thursday night?
Yeah.
Good that I can't get down for it.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd love to go, but I've got the show. We've got the show. We've got to do the show before we head up on the piss up for a weekend. Yeah. But yes, lads.
Before you leave me.
Before I leave you. But there we go. Another fantastic show. Ed has just said, no pickups. This slow's about 30 minutes shorter without seeing all of Andy's goodies. Well, with that said, have you gorgeous two got any pickups this week?
I could well have some pickups.
Yeah. Do you?
Got a couple.
Might do.
Let's go. Who's going first? I've got none, so I'm tapping out. So,
shall I quickly whip through some?
Go on then, Peter.
First of all, just a big shout out to our friend Andy, Perpetual Comics. He gave us these when we went down to Liverpool Comic Con. Over the moon with that. That's a mask pocket book.
Wicked, yeah, that's cool.
That's wicked, yeah.
I used to love them pocket books.
Love them, yeah. So chuffed with that. I picked this up. This is Gremlins. So this is a trade paperback. It's not Gremlins because that would be trade.
Gremlins?
Yeah, because you can't say Gremlins because it's trade paper. What do you call it? Copyrighted. So this is an independent book, independent writer and artist who called it Gremlins, and it's set during World War II, and it's basically the Gremlins destroying tanks and stuff and attacking the troops and everything.
What a way to get around that. That's awesome.
It's tremendous.
That's wicked.
We talked a little bit about John Lee last week. This is the only of his books I haven't got.
You spoke about
I picked that one up. That's weird. Yeah. I think this was my cover pick a few weeks back. I managed to get a copy of that.
Yeah, it was.
Immortal 4. Deluxe cover. Picked up 6 copies of this. I'll be giving some of these away on my channel. These are the Comics Curing Cancer limited edition comic.
Oh, nice.
Only 250 copies of it. So they raised over 50 grand. For Comics Curing Cancer. Cover art donated by Matt Wilson.
Okay.
The Comic Mint produced 250 copies of the book and gave them away for free.
Wow.
And then, Tom, you might do a little sex wee.
Sex wee.
I paid a lot for it. I did pay a lot for it. But we've got the convention exclusive foil. Yeah. I'm completely blaming you, Tom. I have spent a stupid amount of money on friggin' convention. I bought the basketball one as well, and I don't know why I've bought it.
Oh, mate, the basketball one is cool.
I really want the wrestling one, like not from Transformers, but I really want
the turtle one,
the Van Helsing. And
I think I've got about 20 odd copies now, and I've got multiple copies of some of them. So there's the one with Prime's head on, just Prime's head. I think I've got about 4 copies of that, and I've got
Yeah.
the foil coming as well. I don't know why.
Yeah.
But yeah, paid a little bit of money for this one, but it's foil and it's shiny, so I had to get it.
We like shinies. Tom, what have you got?
So on my week off, I went to like lots of charity shops and bits and bobs, see what I could come a proper. So I managed to pick up a Gen 13 book for
Oh,
a
nice.
quid,
Oh, nice. J. Scott.
and it's a J. Scott cover.
Very cool.
So
That is a fucking awesome cover. That's
isn't
a
it?
wicked
And it's
cover.
definitely
Yeah,
one I
that's
don't
awesome.
have, which is nice.
Gen
And also
13
it's
was a
got-
wicked comic as well. Really
it's
enjoyable.
also interior, J. Scott Campbell interior.
Oh wow.
Wow.
So that's pretty cool. So I've got that one. I also managed to pick up for a couple of quid. I managed to get Captain Britain issue 2
Britain.
Oh, nice.
In full colour as
So-
well.
in
I
full
love how
colour.
they've done
I
it.
haven't checked whether or not the boomerang is in it, because they're apparently Andy said there's a boomerang,
Mm-hmm.
so I need to check that. But
That's
it's really
coming
cool.
around
It's in
again
good
as well.
condition.
How much did you
I
pay
did
for that
come
one,
around.
Tom?
4 quid.
That's amazing. Yeah, that's brilliant.
I mean, it's a bit tattered, but I mean, it's a key comic, isn't it? So it's the
Yeah,
it's the
yeah.
second appearance of Captain Britain.
Yeah, yeah. That's
so
awful
I'll-
costume made, isn't it?
Mm.
Oh god, it's terrible.
Bloody awful.
But then
Tom,
I really hope they do it.
while you're talking about charity shops, the two that I went in this week just had an overloaded amount of JLA.
Right.
All right, nice.
Loads, and it was just so much, and it was just all like issue one from like 2003.
Right.
So nothing worthwhile. I'm still hoping that I will go in there and I'll see a Batman Adventures number 12, and I'll be
I
like,
get nothing in my
No.
charity shops. Note. Very irritating.
what else?
It's because a lot of people like ourselves go to charity shops looking for comic books and then can't
Yeah.
find any.
You can't find nothing. Yeah. No one wants them.
So I went on a bit of the plot holes rabbit hole,
Did
and
you?
I ended up buying quite a lot of the plot hole covers. So the first one I got was the blank cover,
Oh, nice. Yeah.
which I
Nice.
got specifically because I have a feeling that Daniel Warren Johnson will probably make an appearance at the Transformers convention in Birmingham at some point.
When
So
is that?
I want to get. So that's it's like mid-August every year. So
Okay.
probably next year. If I mean, it's one I go to quite a lot. I haven't been for a couple of years, but if he does go, I'm definitely going. I'll
Yeah,
get
100%.
this one.
Yeah.
Get a commission if I can. I also got the 1 in 50 issue 1,
Oh,
black and
nice.
white,
That's fucking awesome.
isn't it?
That's
Which
wicked.
then, because I got that one, I was like, oh, now I need them all in black and white. So obviously, then I got issue 2 in black and white, 1 in 10. I then got issue 2, the other one that's in black
Who's
and
the
white.
cover
which
artist
means
in
I'm
that? Is that-
white.
Is that John
They're,
Boy?
no, this one's Sean Murphy.
Okay.
So that's standard. I don't know on this one, mate, to be fair. Hold on, bear with. It should be in the cover, shouldn't it? Bear with me. Call it. Oh, it's Roche.
Rose Besh.
Or Rouge. Rouge.
Rouge. Oh, Rouge. That's nice. Oh, I like that.
It's cool.
Yeah, I like that one.
Very good.
So I got that
Very,
one.
very good.
And then I was lucky enough to get the...
Oh, nice. Yeah.
That's
Forbidden
the
Planet.
Forbidden Planet, yeah. That's
I've got-
nice,
yeah.
that, isn't it?
I got the Virgin as well.
Oh, very
That is-
cool.
oh, Jesus. That is
I've got
nice,
one of
that
those for you, Charlie. Actually, 'Cause
Oh,
I got 2, but Tom's already had one, so I've got one, so I've got a spare.
oh,
if you want.
thank you very much,
Awesome.
Peter.
And then finally, after quite some time waiting for it, I got the... remember the Sacrifices? You remember reading that?
Yeah, I loved issue 1 and 2.
I got the
Yes.
Jenny Christian Virgin,
Nutrition, yeah,
Very nice.
look at that.
which is absolutely stunning.
That's
It's
nice.
great.
That's a
And
great
then-
read. That's a great read. That book.
Despite the fact that you tried to make me piss my pants, I've got one too.
Yeah. Oh, yours is yours signed.
Yeah.
I'm touching the screen like I'm touching the friggin' comic.
Fucking
Nice.
awesome. Yeah, that's nice, man.
With a
That's good.
certificate of authentication from New York Comic Con.
Very
That's
cool.
nice.
Very
And that was
cool.
from this year as well, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was, mate.
Actually,
So
2
that
weeks
bad
ago.
boy is going off to Tim for the old CBCS. 100%.
Does Tim still do that?
Yeah.
I don't
Oh,
know, mate. I haven't kind of spoken to Tim for a little while, to be fair.
Yeah, because I've got a lot of signed books. I wouldn't mind getting checked
Yeah.
out. Jealous
He's
now.
jealous now.
Jealous now.
Mate, to be fair, when you messaged the group chat, you're like, I've got one. I was like, now I'm jealous.
Yeah.
But now I've got to up the game
Yeah,
slightly.
Touche, Tom. I'll have
well,
to see what I can do for the next show. Right.
well, so
Challenge
everyone-
accepted.
So everyone in the chat, so the jealousy doesn't boil over and take up any more of your time. It's been another fantastic show. We are back same time next week. Enjoy what you're reading, enjoy what you're doing. Life is too short, so live life to the fucking fullest. Do what you want, don't have no regrets, just carry on, do what you fucking do, because before you know it, you might not be here anymore. That's what I'm saying. So live life to the fullest, do what you got to do, enjoy what you're doing, enjoy the friends, enjoy spending time with everyone like I do with you two every single week and everyone in the chat. That's all I've got to say, boys. If anyone else got anything to say, crack on.
Just the usual. Stay safe. Stay geek.
See you later.
Bye.